Ever find yourself uh, cramming way too much into your suitcase, struggling to make everything fit for every possible temperature?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we've all been there, right? Staring into our overstuffed luggage, wondering how we're going to survive the trip with all this baggage. Ugh.
Exactly. And it's like no matter how much we pack, we always end up either too hot, too cold, or wishing we had that one specific thing we left behind.
Right. It's like the climate always wins.
This time on the deep dive, we're exploring a potential solution to this packing nightmare. Unbound Merino. They make clothing from merino wool, and it might just change how you pack forever.
Yeah, Unbound Merino is doing some really interesting things with merino wool, especially when it comes to temperature regulation.
Hmm.
We're going to dig into the science behind it, how it works, and why it might be a game changer for travelers like you.
So our bodies are constantly regulating temperature,
Yeah, that's how we stay alive.
and clothing is kind of like our first line of defense against the elements. But merino wool, how does that play into this?
Okay, so merino wool is pretty special. Unlike your typical cotton t-shirt or even some of those synthetic fabrics out there, merino wool is what's called a natural temperature regulator.
Temperature regulator,
Yeah.
so it can actually help your body stay comfortable in a wider range of temperatures.
You got it. It's all thanks to the unique structure of the wool fibers. Imagine them like microscopic little springs or coils. And these coils, they're amazing because they can do two really important things. First, when it's hot out, they can actually absorb moisture like sweat, pulling it away from your skin and then releasing it into the air.
Okay, so that's the cooling effect. That makes sense.
Right. And on the flip side, when things get chilly, those same little coils, they trap air.
Hmm.
And trapped air, that creates insulation. It's like having a little layer of warmth right next to your skin.
That's pretty cool. It's like having a built-in climate control system in your clothes.
Mm.
But what about Unbound Merino specifically?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Unbound Merino has taken this natural advantage of merino wool and amplified it. They've created a whole range of clothing designed with this temperature regulating property in mind.
So are we talking like just base layers or?
No, they've got everything.
Yeah.
Base layers, mid layers, outerwear, socks, even underwear, I think. All designed to help you stay comfortable in a wider range of conditions.
So someone could potentially pack like one bag for a trip with multiple climates
Yeah.
and be comfortable the whole time.
That's the idea. Think about it less, packing less luggage,
Yeah.
potentially even ditching checked bags and those pesky baggage fees. Plus, you're not constantly changing your clothes just to adjust to the temperature.
That would be a dream come true for some
Right.
travelers.
Right. And it's not just theory either. I was reading about this one traveler who went on a trip to South America. They were going from the Andes Mountains all the way down to the Amazon rainforest. And they said that Unbound Merino was like a lifesaver.
Wow. From mountains to rainforest in one trip. That's a serious test.
And they said they were comfortable the whole time. No need to pack a million layers or worry about constantly changing clothes.
So versatile. But I do think there's still this perception of wool as being itchy or too warm for certain climates.
Yeah, I get that. But honestly, merino wool, especially the kind Unbound Merino uses, is completely different. It's incredibly soft and breathable. You'd be surprised how comfortable it is, even in warmer weather.
Interesting. So it's not just about being warm, it's about maintaining that ideal temperature no matter what you're doing or where you are.
Exactly.
All right, so for our listeners who are now ready to ditch their bulky suitcases and embrace the power of merino wool, what's the key takeaway here?
Look, when you're choosing travel clothes, look for pieces that are designed with temperature regulation in mind. Look for merino wool, and Unbound Merino is a great place to start. Their stuff is designed specifically for travelers who want to pack lighter and experience more.
So next time you're planning a trip with crazy climate changes, maybe a hike through Yosemite followed by a relaxing beach vacation, picture yourself packing just one carry-on bag. Unbound Merino could be the key to unlocking a whole new level of travel freedom and comfort.